Hello, everybody. Today I want to talk about, let's start with comments. For which I've got a few, which is nice. I got the most interesting comments were one guy asked me if I was putting whiskey in my coffee in the morning. That was one of my students. That kind of worried me. I don't. I do put whiskey in my coffee, but not at work. Anyway, so other comments that I got, there were two in particular about the grocery store trip. They actually liked it. I thought, that was kind of unexpected, but cool. Maybe I'll try to get some more vlog style posts going around town. I know my brother would like to see something of Tbilisi. I haven't visited Tbilisi yet. I've been living here for almost 2 years. I haven't visited Tbilisi yet. What am I doing? Ah, I forgot my microphone. Test. Hang on. Let's check this out. Tet. Yep. Ah. That works. So. Okay, I literally had my wires crossed. I had wires literally crossed. They were crossed wires. It's a slang term. And yeah, that's what I'm. Screw this. It's working. And that's kind of what I'm here to talk about today. Slang terms. Uh, Slang terms have changed. Now I know when you get older, like I seem to be doing, the slang terms seem to change, of course. But yeah, but here's the thing. I lived in China from about 2003 till 2021. Now, there were some gaps in that. And before 2003, I lived in Indonesia, and before that, Mexico, and before that, Indonesia. No, I said that. Before that, New Zealand. But in all of those places, I was more or less in the cultural loop, you know. Uh, but from 2003 to 2021, I mostly lived in China. Now, they block things. So it's sort of a communist authoritarian dictatorship. So why did I live there for so long? That's a different video. We'll talk about that later. But I did live there for a long time. Actually, for the most part, kind of liked it there. Liked the people, liked the town I was living in, Shenyang. Shout out to Shenyang. Shenyang is the shit. And anyway, the only problem with Shenyang is that it's in China. So yeah, there you go. But because they block stuff, I was pretty much out of the loop for a long time. So when I got basically forced to leave China in 2021 and came back to the real world, things had changed. Now, I had some clues to some of the changes over the years, but I didn't realize they were clues. I thought they were just crazy people randomly saying crazy things, and I just didn't understand. I was learning Chinese. 我可以说汉语 as they say in the PRC. Where was I? I lost my place. Yeah. So there were some clues that things were changing, but I didn't know how much or to what extent, and there was a lot I needed to learn. I'm learning still, not as much, but when I first got back, there were a lot of things that I didn't I didn't know. So like new slang. Now, some of them are pretty easy to understand. Some of them I was able to pick up pretty fast. One of them, which I thought was ultra stupid, was F-bomb. F-bomb. That's when you say fuck, which evidently they still bleep out. I obviously didn't. Although I may get canceled for that. We'll get back to canceled in a minute. This was the trippiest one. YouTuber is a job now. Last time I looked at YouTube before coming back from China, it was just people just randomly posting stuff. Now it's a job. There are channels that I subscribe to. Hell, one of them is the source of this challenge that I'm trying to fulfill, and the channel is Yes Theory. But of course they got a whole team, and it's all professional and all this and cinematography and the whole bit. And it's awesome. Obviously I haven't got any of that, but that's the thing. YouTuber. Simon Whistler is a YouTuber. Thomas Bragg from Yes Theory is a YouTuber, and his group, Amar, I don't remember his name, but a bunch of people. They're kind of famous. I mean, I guess they are full-on famous, the same way a TV star would have been back in the day. I don't know. And we'll get back to that, too. There are some other things, though. I've had people say to me, okay, boomer. I understood it pretty quickly. I know what a baby boomer is, and I was being criticized for being old and out of touch and not knowing how to do stuff. Okay, that's kind of funny. I'm technically not a boomer, but I'm pretty close, so. And I am pretty out of touch. I can't, like this business, this computer thing, at the end of the video, I'll show you the light source I'm using. You're going to laugh. Oh, by the way, I've also been criticized for the quality of my camera. It's not the camera. It's that I have to record these at night. And my lighting in my apartment is just not that great. So I'm working on that. Anyway, so, okay, boomer. Oh, here's another one. Cringe. Now, that's not a new word to me. Cringe was always a verb. And it had the same meaning as it does now as an adjective. It's like, that's cringing. It's a verb. I'm cringing. But now it's used. Now it's an adjective. Okay, language changes. Now cringe is an adjective that describes things that make you cringe, which is fine. But here's the thing: it tends to be applied to things that make woke people cringe, and woke people cringe pretty easily. I already a few days ago I posted a video telling a story about a bicycle accident that I couldn't quit laughing at. And if I start thinking about it, I'll start laughing again. That would have to be cringe to a woke person. Bike accident, they could have been killed. Their brother was almost killed. Sorry, but here's another one. Sorry, not sorry. Which I understood that one immediately too. I understood that to mean sorry as an immediate reaction, and then suddenly realizing, no, I'm not sorry. Yes, I'll get behind that one. Sorry, not sorry. Cringe, I feel like I'm trying to act too young using that one, but I don't know. A couple others. Describing a disaster as a dumpster fire. Now, I thought that was pretty funny because back in the 70s when I was a little kid, I used to see dumpster fires all the time. They weren't disasters. They were kind of fun. They're funny. People throwing away these dangerous chemicals and all this, and they spontaneously combust, and there's a dumpster fire. You call the fire department, you tell them it's a dumpster fire. Back in those days, dumpsters were kept away from anything else, and they were made of metal, and just close the lid, it'll stay under control. Fire department will eventually get there, put it out. Psh. It's not a disaster. Now dumpster fire is a disaster. Another one is a hot mess. I understood that one pretty easily too. But that reminds me of another one. A minute. I should have turned that off. A minute is a slang term for a long time. I get that. It took me a while to understand it. It's been a minute. I always use minute literally, so I had to hear that a couple of times to really get that. But yeah, it's new. That's okay. Oh, and a hashtag. A hashtag. What the hell is a hashtag? And you say it in a sentence. Blah, 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 hashtag this. Like, what? Now, don't tell me. I know it's a Twitter thing. And I did hear a bit about Twitter during Trump's administration. I was in China for his administration, and I got back in 2021. So I was abroad for all of Trump's silliness, but he got a lot of press all over the place. He was famous. He was famously idiotic worldwide, and so I heard all about Twitter and Twitter diplomacy, which is kind of funny, if a little bit embarrassing. But now, getting back to the cancel culture woke thing, I'd heard a little bit about this. Now, this was it's a couple of stories. I had some clues. Like I said before, I had some clues that something was going on, but I didn't know it was like a cultural thing. One time, this is long. This was back in 2014 maybe, a long time ago, 9 or 10 years ago. I was working at the school as an English teacher. I was working at the school in China, and we had foreign English teachers, which were anybody who wasn't Chinese, and you had the Chinese English teachers, and they were mostly there for low-level Chinese students who I don't know. It's a Chinese cultural thing. I always wanted to teach the lower level students, but the school wouldn't let me. The government was, I don't know, have to have a Chinese speaker to teach you how to speak, English using Chinese. It's whatever. So, but anyway, I was working at the school, and we had a new teacher coming in, a foreign teacher. And so she came in, and I stood up, introduced myself. Hi, nice to meet you. My name's Greg. What's your name? Gave me your name. Don't remember. And then I said, oh, it's nice to meet you. So where are you from? And on the other side of the room, there was this Canadian chick, this white Canadian chick. She was not part of the conversation, was nowhere near us. She just stood up and said, Gregory, you can't ask her that. What do you mean? What did I say? I didn't remember. Her name, where she's from. Which one? What? Her name? Completely mystified. You can't ask her where she's from? I didn't understand it. She went crazy. She just went nuts. You can't ask her that? She came to this woman's rescue and rescued her from me. But the other woman seemed just as mystified as I was. And later, it took me, it took me a couple of days to realize what was happening. The woman in question, the woman I was actually talking to, as opposed to Miss Canada Whitey, was non-white. She wasn't black. She wasn't any particular ethnicity that was obvious. I don't know. Somebody's obviously African American or from India or something. I don't know. She simply wasn't white. She could have been white with a very good tan. I don't know. Didn't even occur to me. Wasn't even wondering about that. I just wondered where she was from. It turned out she's from Los Angeles, same as me. And so we talked about that a little bit and all that, and crazy Canadian lady, sat down, and it was a couple of days later I finally realized, that woman was non-white, so crazy Canadian lady was defending the woman I was talking to against my white racist ass, evidently. I thought that was just crazy lady. I didn't know it was a thing. Turns out it's a thing. And a similar story. Years later, I was in Shenyang and I was talking to some people. One of them was a young guy, American. And I was, my friend Vincent and I were talking about a mutual friend of ours, Michel. Michel, it's a man's name in French, spelled different but pronounced the same as the woman's name. Anyway, we were talking about Michel, cool guy, really, really smart about different types of things. I learned a lot from him, blah, blah, blah. And the young guy asked me, wow, he sounds like an interesting guy. Now, I'd like to meet him. I said, well, that's him right over there, pointing to a group of guys standing in a car. We were in a bar. There's lots of people there. And there was a bunch of guys standing over there where I pointed. He said, well, which one's Michel? I said, he's the big black guy. And the guy was shocked. You can't say that. Really? I can't say what? Big black guy? He is. Look, he's a big black guy. And again, I thought it was just some crazy guy. Don't know what the hell he was talking about. Get back to the Western world and it's a thing. It's a thing. You can't say colors now. I had one guy today say you can call a person a black guy, but you can't use black or white in the sense of positive or negative. Like you can't say someone has a black heart or you've blacklisted somebody. He actually had a term called whitelist, which I'd never heard of. You can't say that. So I'm guessing white goods like sinks, toilets, things like that. I guess that's taboo as well. And that was completely new to me and kind of unexpected. So this is the world that I live in now, and I guess we all do. And I'm not too happy about it. But oh yeah, there's one more. There's this symbol right here. That's a hashtag, isn't it? That's a number sign to me. That's not a hashtag. That's a number sign. You put that sign in front of a number, and that says number whatever. So I live at number 12, apartment number 12, Vashpashavela street number whatever. That's a number sign. Well, but it's not. It's a hashtag. Actually, hashtag's easier to say, so that's great. I don't know if that's the proper name of that symbol. I just called it a number sign because I didn't have a name for it. Maybe it's always been a hashtag. I don't know. I'm perfectly happy to call it a hashtag, but I use it as a number sign. I've never used Twitter. I've never even gone on to Twitter, so I don't. I'm far behind the times with that. Obviously trying to catch up with YouTube. Facebook, kind of. Not a huge fan of Facebook. Instagram, don't like Instagram. That one doesn't make any sense to me at all. And yeah, okay, boomer. That's okay. Anyway, so that's what I got to say today. That's what I got to talk about. I will certainly try to do more vlog-style posts, maybe get around to Tbilisi, maybe I'm not sure where to take it. I don't really get out that much. Take it to a local bar, which is something I haven't done yet. There's a restaurant I've been wanting to visit. Maybe they'll let me film there a little bit, and maybe see some tourist sites or whatever. I've got this coming weekend. I've got Saturday and Sunday afternoons off. So I'll try to motivate myself to get out of the house and go out someplace and do some filming. It's kind of a pain in the ass because just because I'm not used to it anymore. I've never been used to it. I'm not used to going out and filming things that I do. I don't even take pictures, but I've got my phone with me, so I'll take a picture. Oh, by the way, before I go, you got to see this. I tried to find some lighting because the cameras, it's so dark and all this. So I couldn't find a decent light that I could buy and set up here for night shoots. But it looks better than some other ones, I think. And this is how I did it. I've got my this is the bottom of a selfie stick, and it opens up as a tripod. So I've got it on a tripod, and I've got the flashlight on. But I've got here, I'll turn it off so you can see what I've got, because it's pretty bright like that. So I've got the flashlights, I can't do it. Flashlights back here, like right there. And I've got this to diffuse it. So it was pointing away from me, but bouncing off of these pieces of paper. It worked okay. It wasn't perfect. I still need to get some sort of lighting, but I'm working on it. I just thought I'd show you that because that's because it's ridiculous. But it worked, kind of, sort of, not perfect, but it worked. So that's what I'm up to. We'll see what I come up to say tomorrow, the next day. You know, it's for the weekday shoots. They're static. I got to work all day, and I work right here at this computer all day long. So that's what I do. Anyway, that's enough for tonight. I'm gonna go to bed very soon, and see you next time. See you tomorrow, and thanks for watching.